Hi there and welcome back to Japan, and oh how the wheels keep on turning on our reviews of World Domination by BAND-MAID. We're on to the song Fate. Fate! It sounds so meaningful. Anyway, hopefully it is. So far, let's have a look at how we've been on the album so far. Can't Live Without You was a great track. I didn't say it wasn't the most experimental album opening. Often bands put something quite strange there, but it was a really good example of BAND-MAID being quintessentially BAND-MAID in everything down to the arrangement, but with a great sort of long chorus that made it stand out. Play, obviously, we talked about that one before, fantastic single. One and Only, that had a nice little change of formula, didn't really fit too much in their normal formula, but kept their sort of energetic sound. Domination, one of my favourite songs by the band. And now on to Fate. So what's going to happen next? Is it going to be a bit of one of those sort of album experiments? Or is it going to be them just being good at being them? Let's see. And as always, get in the comments, tell me what you think. Anyway, here we go. This is a Fate. Oh, different rhythm. What is it about these songs with tripleted beats, heavy songs with tripleted beats? It's so easy to write a really classic chorus like that. Yeah, really catchy, love the movement. I think this sound works for them, that sort of tripleted, like, swing metal sort of beat. Swing metal might not be a thing, but I'm coining it if it isn't. It's really working for them at the moment. I know in every sense this is much simpler than most of their music, and it might come across that way to a lot of people. It's just a bit of a simple song, but adds a really nice variation, and I think we're going to hear some of that musicianship coming through now. Yeah, I mean, like I say, this is quite simple. It's just a really well written hook. It's really catchy. It doesn't have all the detail that a lot of their other songs have, but it works fantastically as contrast. I mean, it works in that sort of way that, yeah, there we go, it's just finishing. It works in that way that if you think about where tripleted music is most common in a sort of folk sense, it's kind of, yeah, I mentioned sort of like dancey sort of things, you know, either like some sort of crazy hillbilly setting or Russian Cossacks dancing to, like, you know, tripleted rhythms. It has that weird sort of folky sing-along jam thing when you do a tripleted beat. Strangely enough, a lot of the time you don't get many, although they're very catchy and they got a lot of rhythm to them, those sort of style of beats, those are just, by the way, in case anyone doesn't know what a tripleted beat is, sorry if you do, but I'm going to jump in and mention this. So you think about a normal beat, it's like what we consider normal is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you can divide everything by 4, so that 4 inside of it, you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, but inside that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Everything's dividing by 4. A tripleted beat is where you get your 1, 2, 3, 4, and you divide it by 3s. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You can already see it. It's kind of got that slightly dancey sort of rhythm to it. It's a little bit better movement. It gives you, because you've got less I guess beats per beat, it gives you less room to write sometimes, and so, but the style can be very good for sort of rhythmic stuff. Now, a lot of rock bands don't play with this. There are some examples of bands who've done this sort of thing where it has really worked well. I mean, to be honest, probably the one that comes to mind, I know this isn't like a rock song, but probably the biggest sort of pop single that came out of this sort of style of rhythm was I think it was So What by Pink. If anyone remembers that, that was actually a really surprisingly catchy song, and that was, if I remember correctly, that was like a tripleted beat. I'm just sort of remembering it in my head. But that sort of sound doesn't give you a single a lot of the time. So I'm not surprised to find that on an album track, and I'm also not surprised, like I say, they didn't seem to find as much room to do their usual sort of twiddly stuff. Until the bridge, and the bridge was fantastic. But that was interesting, because like I say, again, in the same way that I mentioned the One and Only added a little bit of colour to the album by them messing with their usual arrangement format, this added something, not even just in the rhythm. I mean, anyone can play in that rhythm, but in the fact that it allowed them to deliver a more straight song. Because if you just do a straight song like that, which is just sort of like chugging rhythms and you know, not much intricacy, and you do it to a 4/4 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 beat, you're going to end up with something that just sounds like a straight, you know, just like a punk song almost. So this was nice, a different rhythm, and it allowed them to have a very different playing style. You know, like I say, it came off much more straight and energetic and powerful. This was just sort of bang your head. You know, we're not going to ask you for any detail or any awards for musicianship. We just want to get you banging your head, and that to me is a fantastic way to accent the album at this point. You know, sort of 5 tracks in, you know, about a third of the way into an album. It's a good way to accent it after a really hard start. So anyway, next of all, we're going to be checking out Spirit, and then after that, like I say, I am going to listen to Rockin' Me. Although I did the live version, I do want to go back to that because I want to hear the album version. I think that's one of the songs where the contrast between live and album is going to be really interesting. As I mentioned before, you know, Miku didn't play the guitar on the live version, and you really felt the hole in the band, but I imagine she will be playing and singing on the album version. But anyway, yeah, next, before that, we've got Spirit coming up. So until Spirit, or whatever the hell you want to watch next, you know, you might want to go and watch one of those videos of, you know, grandmothers falling over waterfalls. Till then, ciao.